Okay, so the lecture is about the human source code. Source code is basically the code of any kind of significant program in a computer kind of way. So, source code for a human has got to do with the all the information that is critical for operating a human being. So, source code is information. Let's leave it at that because it could be all kinds of other stuff, but let's just talk about it being information. Now, as far as we think, a human being is basically, a body and a mind. And within the mind, you have thoughts, thinking, and emotional feelings because they come through the mind. The mind being consciousness itself. So you've got consciousness, so you can be busy inside of your head thinking about something, and you still have your physical body. So we always kind of think the body is. Well, we usually think of the body as being the body and the mind, and then people talk about the body-mind connection. But, well, I'm not going to go into more detail on that. I'm just talking about the source code of the body. So, where is the source code of the body held? A lot of people think it's the DNA in the cells. And then the thinking comes about because you've got so many neurons in your brain that interact with one another, and that's how everything happens. And you've got different structures in the brain and in the body, different things that do specialized things for the whole group. So anyway, the whole point is there's no point to this because we can't get into the source code of the human body. Why not? Because it's a lie. There is no information being used from the DNA in your day-to-day activities. Because I said so. Because I don't believe it. If it was true, how can you have ghosts that don't have bodies that still have consciousnesses running? You don't believe in ghosts. You don't watch those ghost shows on the internet. Somewhere along the way, people started writing about ghosts. It was a figment of someone's imagination, and everyone else just heard about it and piled on. If you don't believe in ghosts and you don't think that there are non-physical consciousnesses, you might as well turn off the video because I'm not going to show you proof right now. But you can go and find on the internet, on YouTube or something, a bunch of paranormal investigators investigating ghosts. And then you can say, well, it's just a TV show and, they just cooked it up using some computers to, it's very good photography. Makes you believe, suspend your disbelief or something. But if that's as far as you're going to go with it, turn off my video because you're not going to get anything from it. For the rest of you that do believe in ghosts, then that's the proof. If a ghost can be there, do you think a ghost has got ghost DNA or something? So, no, it can't be DNA. Because a ghost has got consciousness and can be contacted and can talk. So, if everything is based on the DNA, okay, someone says, well, the physical body is all based upon the DNA, but the mind that continues after the body is drops dead, that is something else. But everything to do with the body is in the DNA. And that's why they say that the mind gets seated in the seat of the soul, the pineal gland, at about 42 days of gestation of the human creation when a new baby is made. I don't know. It could be. I have to think about it a little bit more. Why do drugs that you take affect your mind if they're two separate entities? Somehow they are connected somehow. No, I don't think so. I would be more likely to go the other way, that all the physical particles have consciousnesses associated with them. Anyway, the source code is all I want to talk about right now. The source code for you. Some people say it's held in the Akashic records, which might be in an astral plane. What is an astral plane? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. A lot of these buzzwords have been handed down from generation to generation. And you have a lot of these people that are talking about ancient wisdom teachings, the Akashic records. And some people have dreams where they go and it's like a giant library, maybe in a Greek motif. And you can go into the library and all this information is being held there. I don't think so. I think it's used to create an experience for you. But whatever these Akashic records are, it's just a buzzword because there's no way of penetrating into it. It doesn't have a meaning. If you're going to be a scientist, you have to be able to you gotta have to dig your teeth into it. Now, if it's a field, well, we've got instruments that can measure electrical magnetic fields. Can you measure mind? Sort of. Like, when they do whatever that is, when they put electrodes on your brain, they can measure, if you're in like theta state or whatever, these different states of mind, alpha state or whatever. So I guess they can do some kind of measurement, but it's mostly, that's what they're measuring is electrical. And I don't think if they, hook themselves up to your skull with electrodes, they're going to be able to read your memories. Some people say it's Tesla waves that can access your mind. But all this technology was suppressed, if it's even real. It could be all sci-fi. Because you can read about it, people will talk about it, but there is nothing available on the commercial market that will do anything with Tesla waves. So maybe you can find some scientific schematics of what Tesla waves are. Are they real or not? I don't know. It's like, what if it's real, why can't we find any real information on it? Why isn't it being studied in your local university? It's being suppressed. Part of it might be the scientists there. Well, we never learned it when we went to school, and we don't have a grant to study it. So our university's system is at fault. Well, it sucks. It sucks because we don't do any real research and things that we need. It's all based upon, huge egos that decide what's going to be researched. But you think on the whole planet that somewhere some independent person might be investigating Tesla waves to see if they're real or not, and if there's some way to measure them. But your body can definitely pick up things. If you walk into a room and people have been fighting, you can feel that there's disturbance in the energy. So what are you sensing? Is it like the air molecules? A dog can sense your state, right? It knows when to come up and give you a lick. So things that are living, like these living body-mind things that appear on planet Earth, can somehow sense what's going on with others. Are we really good at picking up body language? Maybe that's the answer. I'm Joaquin McFlokey.